There. Good news is my server did not crash once, so I can pretty much confirm that the vanilla core is butter. As stable as butter. Or no, that's not right. Never mind. Okay, so I did... Shit. Okay. So I did that quest. What other quest could I do here? Part of me thinks that there's probably a, I might be able to buy something. There's probably... a dungeon quest somewhere that I could do. And I do have time for a dungeon. I think I'm gonna stick with what I got. So the bot should be posting to the auction house. Maybe if I go back to the beginning. Sort by seller. Don't I have like a map or something to put together? Upper map fragment. That would be in here. Or not. Alright, well, I'm on my way. Apparently there's still bots trying to fight that dude. Where's a good place to quest for Horde? I think I did all the Swamp of Sorrows quests. Oh, there was the, hold on. There was the Sunken Temple quest, I think. Pretty sure I abandoned it because, it was like orange or something. I don't remember.
What's up, everyone? Back again with another video, and yeah, you see, I done came on back to the good old side, right? Back to being a mailman. I show y'all a little rundown. I can't show too much, obviously, but yeah, you see back there, I got the packages back there, packages in the van. Here we got the mail. Got the mail up here. This would be the case mail, and this would be the DPS. Basically, DPS is automated mail. It's sorted, typically brought in a cage, and you get it, you know, once you're done casing the mail up. Case mail, FSS, magazines, letters, and all this stuff. That's on your little station. You case that open to the numbers or the address, and then once you're done with the case and everything, you pull it all down. Well, you pull it down by relay, so it'll be like, let's just say 1, 2, 3. So 1, pull it down, band it up with a rubber band. 2, pull it down, and so forth. So yeah, that's the case mail. And what I like to do is, you know, in carrier college, because you got to go to carrier college before you can deliver mail. Excuse my dry hands. Got to go to carrier college before you can deliver the mail. As they tell you to put the flats, the case mail, on your arm like this, and then you'll have the whatever hand you know is your dominant hand. You'll have the DPS in your hand like this. So, like for example, I got my DPS like this, and I got my case. I got my DPS like this. I got my flats, aka case mail, in my arm. And since there's only one thing, a lot of carriers they'll put it all in one hand. So you know, it's really just about figuring out how to make it work. So you know, got the DPS right here, case mail right here. You see it in between my fingers, and I look at the address and match it up with the DPS because that gets bundled together. Now, for this particular relay, it's only just this magazine. You know, the mail's kind of light today in terms of case mail, so that's always good. You don't have so much mail you're gonna have to carry on your arm. You got to figure out what's gonna suit you best on how to carry the mail to be efficient about it. And then in my bag, I got my packages. I got them in the order I'm going to hit the houses. In this particular relay, the houses are going to go up and it's going to go down. So I got to go up, you know, across the street. They go down, they go back up again, which would be the next relay, if that makes sense. And then this is part of the next relay. But it's all the same street. It's just broken up into 2 relays because it's really long, you know. If it was all one relay, it'd be a lot of mail, and you still have to break it up and bend it anyways. As you can see, I got the mail like this, but like I said, normally if I got a lot of flats, I have it like this. And they call it fingering through the mail, cycling through the mail, each by each household. For example, I'm at 343. Got the mail for that. Put that in the mailbox. On to the next. So I haven't done that magazine. That's part of the last relay. That around, right? So
Anyway. Oh, look at that timing. Oh. Wait, what?
Under the
How are we going to do
fixed speakers to triangulate its position. It might seem a little crude today, but to the viewing public in 1986, this was cutting-edge technology. And thanks to John and the Human Computer Interface Research Unit at Loughborough University, it was reality. However, in these early days, investors were still too scared and indeed lacking in knowledge to pour cash.
Well, all his videos still suck. One second.
Hardest grinds in WoW. You know what number 1 is? The Goldshire Inn on Moonguard.
Oh, I just hearing that made me realize I've already heard this. Why do I have to? Okay, I don't. I'm just tripping out. Is this still overclocked?
Hey guys,
Yeah.
what's up? Mad Season here, back with another episode
Is this the
in
Grand
the Hardest
Marshal
Grind
grind?
series. No, not that kind
Let's
of
see.
grinding. In the last episode, we went over the Insane title in its original form, pre-Cataclysm. A pretty extreme grind, but there are others that some would argue are just as tough, if not tougher.
It's not. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
click ahead. It was not that hard.
Hey guys,
Like
the last
Insane
episode-
was not that hard. But I did do it after Shendalar got removed. Insane on day 1 was extremely difficult to do though.
we went over the Insane title in its original form, pre-Cataclysm. A pretty extreme grind, but there are others that some would argue are just as tough, if not tougher.
Okay.
So, in no particular order, here's 5 more. First up, we have the Winter Saber Trainers, pre-Cataclysm.
Okay.
This is an
Yeah.
Alliance-only faction,
this
which
is actually
in its
very true.
original state, if you grinded out reputation with them until you were exalted, you would
This
get
is
the
ridiculous.
Winter Spring Frost Saber mount. Since Cataclysm, you can just do a daily quest 20
Could have
times
sworn
to
there was a
obtain the
quest
mount,
giver here.
but be-
There was a Draenei on my server that had this mount before they made the change. It was absolutely disgusting.
Before then, it was much more grindy. You of course started at neutral and had
65
just
rep
one
per turn
repeatable
in.
quest called the Frost Saber Provisions. For this one, you had to gather 5
50
each of
fucking
shark
rep.
tooth meat obtained from killing bears in the area, and
That's
chillwind
great.
meat obtained from chimeras. And these meats had a pretty low drop chance, around 10 to 20% I'd say. But completing this gave you 50 rep each, and the way the whole reputation worked was that you could unlock more reputable quests the higher reputation levels you obtained.
Yep, I did this.
So, at 1500 points into neutral,
I didn't do it
you
pre-nerf,
unlocked
though.
another one called the Winterfall Intrusion, which
Yep.
required you to kill 5 each of Winterfall Shamans and Ursas in a Furbolg village to the south. Again, repeatable infinitely,
Easy.
and it gave you 50
Very easy.
reputation per turn in. The last unlock was at the
Yep.
honored level called Rampaging
I did
Giants.
this a lot.
This required you to kill 8 elite enemies at the other end of the
17
map.
million damage.
It did give an extra
Legion, by the
25
way.
reputation, but the difficulty of the enemies and the travel time made it too
This is
slow.
fucking hard to do.
As a result, people usually just stuck with the first two, and the general strategy was to head to the Furbolg village, and on the way there and back, kill any bears and chimeras you saw to try to complete the meat quest, and just rinse and repeat that about 800 times until you were
Obviously.
exalted. Now, this did vary depending on
I did this back in the day. It was really fucking hard. It was extremely annoying, and it's the way it goes, obviously. But I remember whenever I was trying to be really efficient with this, I actually put my hearth in Everlook so I could save about 5 minutes every hour. That's how insane this grind was. It was fucking ridiculous.
how crowded things were.
Claim you did everything. Well, I mean, it's on my armory. It's not like it's a secret if I did this or not.
If the village was constantly camped, it was probably worth trying to kill those elites all the way on the other end of the map. Easier said than done though if you're talking current content.
It's not
So
that hard.
that's a lot of grinding to say the least. Next, let's go over one that only takes one kill. It's our first
When did I get
reputation
that?
grind, and that's the time lost
That's
prototype.
sick.
Yep.
That sounds pretty easy. Just
Easy.
one kill. He spawns in the Storm Peak zone in Northrend, and he even drops
It's
a
easy.
mount at a 100%
Everybody
chance.
has this mount nowadays.
So, what the
Everybody
heck
has
is
it.
he doing on this list? Well, for a few reasons. One is, he doesn't spawn at any one location. There are a few different eligible...
Think about this. Greek got this mount. Like, you know what? Let me show you guys. Look at this right here. Time Lost Proto Drake. 7 years ago. Greek God X.
Okay, I've heard this video too.
I just got the time now! Yes!
Sorry.
Oh my god! I just got the time lost
Hardest grind.
I was in the middle of a fight. I probably could have survived if I would have alt-tabbed. I probably could have saved everybody's ears. At the cost of maybe 50 HP, but... It is what it is, what it is, what it is. I probably heard this one too before, but I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna blow it the fuck out. I mean, let's be real. Okay. Ooh. Whoa.
Loot.
That's what
Pixels.
matters.
Upgrades. Looks. It's at the
Mainly
forefront
looks.
of any RPG in history. Everyone wants it. No one has
Ooh,
enough.
Kel'Thuzad loot.
And people will lie, cheat, betray, and steal to get it.
No, man.
So naturally,
Nobody
it
would
has
ever
to be
do that.
treated
What do you
very
mean?
carefully.
Who
And
would
in
do
the case
that?
of MMOs, even more so.
Come on,
since you're in
man.
direct competition with other people.
That's
It
disgusting.
varies between games. In current, it's not that big of a deal because
Yeah.
of personal loot. You run a raid, and you get loot, or you don't,
And usually you don't. And it sucks.
and you have nothing but luck to blame.
Yep.
However,
And
in
Blizzard.
Classic, it's more traditional. You kill a boss, it drops loot, and you dish it out.
Yep.
Don't be fooled by
Dish
this
out the
veil of
DKP.
simplicity, though. Behind this simple idea lies anger, jealousy, and betrayal. Something that players were not prepared for.
That's
with
the best part of
release
it, man.
Was the loot and raiding. And in
Yeah,
the
it's
game's
the best
short
part.
7-month lifespan, many guilds have already fallen under the yoke of loot drama. And
Fun.
in this video, I wanted to talk about the 3 big ones and their strengths and weaknesses for any aspiring guild leaders out there, or even those of you just looking for a guild.
Anarchy.
Anarchy. A state of disorder due to the absence or non-recognition of authority. Lady
Synonyms.
Luck reigns supreme with
Olympus.
the first on our list, and that's open roll.
Okay.
Well, not fully open. You'd have to be pretty naive to have open loot to 40 people and just trust everyone not to take whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I know.
my god!
Oh, dude. This fucking video, dude.
No, it's more like the
Powdered
Helmet of
shit
Wrath
never
drops,
drops.
so all tanks roll on it, excluding DPS warriors until all of the tanks already have it.
Yeah, that's right. That's
The
why I
pros
roll
would
tank.
be there are no favorites nor discrimination.
Mhm.
The only thing that's standing between you and the item is your own luck. It's fair, right? Well,
No.
yes, in that aspect it is.
Yeah,
But what
right.
about this situation? You have a tank who's online every day, tanks dungeons for guildmates, even if he doesn't need them. He brings consumables, PvPs,
This is me.
he's always online in Discord.
No, it's not me.
This is a valuable guild member who gets along with most people.
You should give him all the loot.
And you have a
Motherfucker.
tank whose playtime starts and ends with raid. You question if there's some sort of weird government
Mind your
experiment
business.
that never spoken a single word in voice chat.
Okay.
This person wins the Helm of the Draft. You don't see him for 6.5 days, and your active tank is still using this piece of crap.
Look.
Anything is variable. You could apply bonuses to
Well,
rolls,
drop rate on this isn't very
ability to
Okay.
speak,
great.
but
Yeah.
how much? What's fair and what isn't?
But, you know, what drop rate in vanilla
This
is,
brings in
you know, good.
micromanagement
I
and
hate that.
authority to a loot
Minus the
system that people
candles.
flock to.
I've always hated giving people plus X onto a roll. I think that's the worst system, because the moment that somebody wins the roll, but then somebody else actually wins the roll, that's the moment that you have somebody who is 275% mad. And their friend that's talking to them in that other guild, they're like, hey, what's up, man? So when do you guys raid again? What is really going on over there?
Because they don't like micromanagement and authority
Yeah, it's
in their
fucking
loot
annoying.
system. So, let's bring some order to all of this, shall we?
Okay.
We talked about adding bonuses to those who are more active within the guild.
Yeah.
Maybe the more stuff they do, they get points. You get points for raids, of course. but maybe
DKP.
also for attending guild events, PvPing, or whatever.
I don't think you should do that.
Well, it's not a very creative idea because it's existed for around 20 years.
Yeah, I've never been
First
a fan of
brought
this.
about in EverQuest, the DKP system was one of
So
the
where did I
things
get that
did
buff?
This is
Spirit of Zandalar.
It was hard to find a guild that didn't.
See, you knew this is an actual classic guild because they have 4 druids in the same raid and a fucking moonkin. So this is a vanilla raid, not classic. If this was a classic raid, that would be in the back, the 20 Fury Warriors, and then in front of that, the 30 rogues. That's pretty much it. 6 druids? Yeah, I forgot moonkins were actual druids. Usually they're just a waste of space. But anyway, I think DKP is fucking stupid. Like, the only good way to do loot is through either loot council or a modified loot council system. Like, everything else besides that is a bad way of
Who
doing
cast
it, in
this?
my opinion. I think loot council is the best way of distributing loot in a group that has people that trust each other and decisions are made fairly, obviously.
Use it, in fact. Basically, each boss in each raid gives you a certain amount of points. You kill
Yep.
Lucifron, and you and everyone else present gets 2 points.
No way. So you get it whenever somebody does the Heart of Hakar quest? So that would mean that bots did a raid by themselves. That's what that says. A raid by themselves without me having any say in the matter whatsoever. That's pretty cool. I imagine they were all level 60 decked out max gear and everything, but that's pretty cool. In fact, I want to mention this in their Discord.
points,
Mm-hmm.
and you kill Nefarian, and you and everyone else present gets 6 points. This is the bare minimum the system is set up for.
We used to have people that
It
like
varies
contribute
guild by
shit for
guild.
the guild bank.
Some get points for PvP,
That's dumb.
and some for even donating materials or gold.
We used
to
to
a
have
guild
that
bank.
in my old guild.
A derivation that's gaining in popularity is EPGP, where instead of DKP,
We used to
you
have that too.
EP or effort points.
In Indestructible,
And
we
a
had
second
this.
currency is added called gear points, which goes up as you get gear. And loot
It's like who has the
priorities
best
decided
ratio
on a
gets it
portion
first.
of these two numbers. A more
I
detailed
hated this
version of
shit, dude.
DKP, essentially. But back to
It
the
was
base
so
DKP
bad,
system
dude.
here. You then spend these points on the actual items. There are a couple of different ways in doing this as well. One is an
Bidding.
auction style, where you choose how many points you spend. So player A bids 5 points on an item, then player B chimes in with 10, and so on and so forth until the highest bidder wins. And you also have the second variant, where items have a set point value, and the person with the highest point total wins it, and then gets that price deducted from their total.
What the fuck? I've never heard
So
of that.
going back to that helmet
Yeah,
of
I've never
Wrath
heard of people
scenario,
doing that.
This time it would go to the active tank, assuming that he has the most points.
Yeah, that actually, this system sounds great.
The other tank would
He'd eventually get it, but who cares about him? So, I've never liked DKP because it encourages behaviors that I think are counterproductive to progression. So, number one is it encourages people not to bid on upgrades immediately and to instead wait for their biggest upgrade and then only bid their DKP on that specific upgrade. And so it creates a really weird system where people are not taking things that they should be taking, but they're only taking things that they can take for a very, very low total while still maintaining all of their items and all their DKP in order to buy out, Ward Waves, in order to buy out, Sulfuras or something like that. And then on top of that, it encourages toxic behavior because you have people that, this is what I would do, is like, I got together with the other warriors in the guild and I'm like, okay, bro. So I want the belt, you get the boots. You go 5 on the boots, I don't bid. I go 5 on the belt, you don't bid, and then we're good. And so it encourages that toxic behavior on top of that, which is not good for the guild. And then on top of that, collusion. Well, of course, collusion. And then on top of that, you have bidding people up just to lower their DKP. So, for example, if you know somebody really, really needs a pair of boots, right? They're still using fucking Saffron's boots or something like that. The blue ones, Saffron scale boots, and boots of Might drop or boots of Wrath drop, and they need them, and you bid them up knowing that you don't really need them, but you're bidding them up in order to make them spend more of their DKP, so whenever the Drake Fang Talisman drops later on, then they don't have enough DKP to compete against you, and then you get the item that you want because you bid them up on the item that you don't even want in the first place. Okay, like, I was the master at scamming people with DKP. Like, I did this for years.
eventually get his, of course, but as appropriate to his
Silent
activity
bits fix
within
it?
the guild.
Yeah, they
much
do.
Later.
But you can
Grow
still
with this
inspect people,
method,
like, you know.
You get what you put in. If you're an active member, you're thusly rewarded with more gear more quickly, and it'll get more use since you don't log out for 6 days immediately after raid.
Mm-hmm.
There are cons though. Like I said, it was hard to find a guild back then that didn't.
It's also
use
bad
it.
for new players
But
coming
today,
in,
It's not as prolific.
because they don't have any
But
DKP.
why is this?
EPGP is better
Well,
in
first
that way.
is with the variant A, where people can enter a bidding war. It's extremely susceptible to collusion. Let's say you have 3
No.
tanks. Tanks A and B are real good friends, but they hate Tank C.
Wait,
So,
what?
Tank B
Who would
makes
do
an
that?
agreement with A that if Tank C doesn't
No,
bid, just bid
no,
1
dude.
point and I'll pass it to you.
No, dude.
Otherwise, let's bid up that C a-hole.
Fuck them.
So this allows tanks A and B to stay at the
Get all
top
the gear.
indefinitely because they get items for 1
Yep.
point. And whenever C wants something, they
Fuck
bid
'em.
him or her up to expensive prices.
Yep.
And even the set point system has issues. I can relate to this one perfectly, as it happened in my guild back in 2005.
Yep.
We
This is
had
really
2
fun.
rogues, A and B.
I used to love
A was a
doing this.
newish rogue, but a nice dude who tried hard. We were in AQ40.
A nice
and
dude.
The rogues in our guild were always pretty tight-knit when it came to gear, and we would sort of convene and try to get the biggest items possible.
Okay.
For the betterment of the guild.
Yeah. That was
Everyone
really
was like-minded and on the same page here.
She actually got dinner done at a decent time, I'll be damned.
In fact,
Hey, how
the
convenient.
item in this particular example was the ancient Kiraji Ripper. Rogue
Yeah?
B we referred to as the weapon collector, because that's what he did. He liked to collect weapons, even if he didn't use them. Something that
That rogue's name? S-Fun. I'm just kidding. Is there any weapon that S-Fun doesn't have? Like, and I'll be honest, like, I'm jealous It's not like I'm mad about it. I'm fucking jealous. He has both legendaries and I don't have a single fucking one, man. This is insane.
DK.
Anyway, I'll be back in a moment.